to KwaZulu-Natal now, where the police are searching for 4 armed men who shot and killed 4 family members at their home in KwaDweshula, close to Port Shepstone, on the south coast. SABC News reporter Nonhlakanipho Magwaza joins us now live for that. Nonhlakanipho, this is quite a harrowing story. And of course, this manhunt is in its critical hours, as this is shortly after the incident had taken place. Does the police have any leads at this moment?
Good morning, Oliver, and to the viewers at home. So far, Oliver, we don't have any reports from the police whether or not they have any leads. However, we are here. You can see behind me their family members, their relatives, neighbors. They came here to console the family members that have been left. I don't know if you would be able to see, Oliver, but the incident happened right here behind me. There is a what they call a rendezvous where the husband and the wife were sitting waiting to celebrate New Year's or light fireworks for New Year's. From what I hear, it happened at around 11 towards midnight before the firecrackers started. What happened is, from what I hear, is that 4 men came. They went to the rendezvous. They asked the husband for money. When he said he didn't have any money, they shot him and took the wife, and she led them to the house behind me, where the mother and I believe 2 other people were sitting, waiting as well to celebrate or enter into the 2026. However, they didn't get that opportunity, because when they got into the house, they started firing and then they left. However, we do have the councillor with us, Mr. Kulekani Msomi, because the family is still busy with people who came to pay their condolences. And earlier when we arrived, Oliver, they had a ritual that they were doing, what we call in our culture to stop such incidents from reoccurring. So they had to perform that ritual, and we gave them that space. However, we do have Mr. Msomi with us, who is the councillor of Ward 1 here, KwaDweshula. Mr. Msomi, this is a horrific incident that happened just before New Year's. If you can just explain to us or tell us what exactly happened, because we are hearing that these guys, they came, they wanted to rob the family, but there are so many other families, especially along the road. Why particularly this house?
Kubalaleli nababukeli igama ukhulekana kaMsomo Ward Councillor walaka Ward 1 under Umzumbi municipality in the district of Ugu in KZN. According to the information that was shared by the family with us, these 4 men came and they confronted the husband or the fiancé to the bereaved wife. And they asked for money. After failing to get that money, they shot him, and they went on to this building, and they asked for the same thing to the mother of the already deceased husband or fiancé to that lady, and they also her and the 2 other siblings to the husband. That is what we had. So in terms of what the motive behind that is a bit unknown to us up to this point. We are unaware of what really was the motive behind the shooting. Also, the issue of as to why they identified a house that is far away from the road is also puzzling, because there are so many households that are along the road that they should have identified, but they decided to come to this one. So I think the police will have to dig deep, investigate, and see how best they can come up with the actual reason as to why they identified this house.
Mr. Msomi, we were speaking earlier on about this incident, and you mentioned that this is not the only incident in this area that you have experienced. There was one last week. If you can just tell us about those incidences and what exactly do you guys propose to do to raise awareness going forward? Because you said that this kind of crime in this area is becoming rife?
Yeah, it has become rife. We've had cases from the beginning of this term of office in 2021. We've had a lot of incidents of this nature. We've had a case in Mhlomnyama where a husband and a wife were killed brutally. It was not during this period. They died and left the children unattended. We also had a case where a young man was coming from Life. There is an area where they always host big events. He was coming from there and he was brutally murdered. So recently we've had a case of a young woman, a 26-year-old Snow Mbanda. She was also coming from Endaweni Zobumnandi, and she was also brutally murdered, and she was left unattended, and she died all by herself in a remote area. So these cases are happening. Before that, there was a man that was attacked in his house, and he was killed badly, and he was thrown into a pit toilet with his hands tied with a cable tie on the back as well as his legs, and he was thrown into the toilet head first. Also, there is another case of an old woman who was a Sangoma. She was also brutally murdered. So we've got a recurring kind of cases. But this one is very big because we're talking about 4 family members in a very short space of time being killed in a very cruel manner.
CPF, I'm sure there is a CPF in the area. Are you guys going to step up on patrols in the area? I see there are some lighting, so the issue of lighting cannot be a great concern. What are the steps that you're going to take as authority in this place to try and reduce the number of these incidences?
Well, working with different stakeholders as well as private sector, we are trying and get street lights. That's the first part, especially in the Mhlomnyama area where there is a series of events that have taken place along the main road. But looking at the situation, it looks like we have to up our game and try and get these big lights that will be, the floodlights, that will be in a position to assist us in making sure that our areas are visible during the night so that people can be safe. The issue of a community policing forum, we already have had a plan, and it has been executed. On the 10th of September, there was a launch of security safety structures, let me put it that way, that were launched by the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Umhlonishwa Ubabuntu. So the systems are in place. However, we do not have enough numbers because there are areas that are not covered in terms of the personnel. As soon as we are able to have people like those, I'm sure we will be in a position to say the area is a bit safer. Also, there is an issue of the police station. The police station, the level of the police station is a bit low in comparison to the area they are covering. The area that we are covering has got 4 villages with 4 traditional leaders or amakos in Dabuk. So Snamakosa 4 that are covered by a police station that is led by a captain. That is a small institution. So we need to up our game by ensuring that the institution is upgraded to another level where a brigadier or someone higher than the captain is in charge of the institution. So that will give us an opportunity to have more personnel, more vehicles, and other issues that we need as the community.
Thank you so much. That was Ward 1 councillor here at KwaDweshula, Mr. Kulegane Msomi, saying that they do need more manpower in terms of the police station in this area, which is headed by a captain. However, Oliver, just want to take you through, don't believe you can see this area properly because because we had to leave our car at the hill and then walk down. So it means that these criminals, they had to leave their getaway cars, if they had any getaway cars, right at the top, and then walk down in between houses just to come to this house. This is a very hilly place, so accessibility to this area is a very low. It is very difficult to access. Basically, you have to walk in between, and it's very hilly. And it was raining last night, so as well as before New Year's Day. Or on New Year's Eve, it was also raining, so it was very slippery. So I do believe that these criminals had all the time in the world, or they knew the place that they wanted to target. Back to you in studio, Oliver.
Nonhlakanipho, thank you so much for that report. Really do appreciate it. Quite a harrowing story. Yeah, certainly one that we'll keep our eyes on.